loves, what is up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. If you have not heard of Skillshare before, they're basically a massive online platform full of classes upon almost any subject you can think about. I've taken classes on there ranging from product photography, web development, fashion design, video editing, productivity, learning, how to read better, how to study better, time management, speech, how to tell a better story, and honestly, I'm probably forgetting something in that list. I've taken so many classes on Skillshare, I can't even begin to describe. It is one of my favorite subscriptions of all time, and I've had my own personal subscription with them for probably like 4 or 5 years now, and they have genuinely stayed one of my favorite apps. So if you're an avid learner like me and you like to build new skills, learn new things, and improve yourself all the time, then you are going to love Skillshare. And I just recently completed this class on Skillshare all about how to edit videos, and even though I've been editing videos for a long time, I'm still curious about how other people edit their videos, and I love learning about how to use your iPad to create handwritten text in Final Cut Pro. This was super cool. And even if you're a complete beginner at video editing, this class has everything that you need to get started and to create an amazing video. And if you want to get started with Skillshare, the first 1,000 people to click the link down below in the description box get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare, and you can take so many classes within 1 month. So if there's a skill that you're really wanting to learn, now's your chance to do it. The first 1,000 people to click the link down below in the description get a free 1-month trial of Skillshare. So I highly recommend checking that out. I hope you love them just as much as I do, and thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right back into today's pick a card reading. Hello my loves, what is up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading all about your life in 1 year from now. So if you're curious what you are currently attracting your way, and if you're curious what your life is going to be like in 1 year, let's go ahead and find out. So basically how this reading works is there is 4 different groups in front of me, and you're gonna take a moment, pause the video if you need to, in order to find the pile that you are the most called towards. So we have group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So again, you can take a moment, pause the video if you need to find the group that you're the most called towards. If you like to choose with crystals on the cards, and if you find that that helps your intuition when picking a pile, we're also gonna pop some crystals on these cards. So if you like to choose with crystals, let's go ahead and get some crystals on these cards. All right, my loves, if you like to choose with crystals, here are our crystal options. So over on group number 1, we have some sunset aura quartz. Group number 2, we have some angel aura quartz. Group number 3, we have some amethyst. And group number 4, we have some bismuth. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you need to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. If you are drawn to 2 different groups, that is absolutely okay. That just probably means that there is multiple messages for you in each group. And again, there's going to be timestamps linked down below where you can skip right ahead to your personal reading all about your life in 1 year from now. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. All right, my group number 1s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, group number 1, we have a powerful reading for you. We start off with the 9 of Wands, then we have the Tower, then we have the Ruler of Wands, and then the Conqueror of Wands. Your reading is dominated by wand cards, and that actually says something really significant. Your energy right now is very fiery. You're going through a fire stage of your life where this is building your willpower. So the fire really correlates with our solar plexus chakra. And so right now you are gaining a lot of willpower, a lot more confidence, and you're ready to also build something and manifest something, because the solar plexus chakra is the first kind of chakra that we go through when we're manifesting something. So when we're manifesting something, it starts as an idea, it starts at the 7th crown chakra and works its way down. And right when it passes through the heart chakra, that's when it gets into the physical chakras. So technically the solar plexus chakra is our first physical chakra. So there's something that's been a big idea for you that's going to begin manifesting into your life over this next year. And there's something where you're really called to have a breakthrough. The fact that we have the Tower right after the 9 of Wands over here, you're about to have such a major breakthrough in your life when it comes to overcoming like a fear that you've had, or breaking out of your shell. Like maybe you really wanted to start something, or maybe you've even tried something in the past, and maybe you've gone back into your shell because maybe you've failed at something before, or maybe something didn't work out as you planned it, or perhaps you were in sort of a more protective mode. I'm getting the message that this either is in your love life or in your career life for you, but there's something where Maybe you've begun to close yourself off from a dream that you had, or maybe you were like in this stage where you wanted to learn as much as possible or prepare as much as possible before going and trying again. And you're at this breakthrough stage where now I feel like you've done so much inner work, or at least you will be doing so much inner work over the next year, that you are going to be so ready to have this breakthrough. And then we have the Ruler of Wands, which is like the King of Wands. This is such a powerful card. So you're stepping into a leadership role. You're ready to lead yourself, and you don't need to wait any longer for permission for other people or the support of other people. You are so ready to take matters into your own hands and make your ideas happen, to make things move forward and to create progress in your life. You are just so ready for that. I also just see a lot more independence and freedom. You're ready to create more freedom for yourself. So when it comes to old things that used to keep you tied up or used to keep you stagnant, you're breaking out of those over this next year. I'm also hearing financially, you're breaking out of old financial constraints and creating more ways of having financial freedom. I think that that's something that you're working towards and building over this next year. You're working towards having more financial freedom and more ease in your life financially. I'm also hearing that you are desiring to build more ease in your life when it comes to obligations and things that keep you tied down. You no longer want to feel like you are bound by life or bound by so many responsibilities. And of course, life comes with responsibilities, so it's not like we can ever be free of like 100% of them. But what it looks like to me is that you are working on building this sort of empire for yourself where you do have more freedom, and the responsibilities that you do have, it feels good, it feels under your control, it feels more at ease, and it feels like you actually have the capacity to handle it and take care of it, because you're also, I think, building a life that you love, right? The Ruler of Wands, he has no room for things that make him feel super tied down or dependent on other people, or things that take his freedom away, or things that take his desires away. Like, he knows how to just command his energy, and he knows what lights him up. So what I'm seeing for you is that you're breaking out of your shell because there's something that you really desire, but it's going to require you to break out of these old patterns, these old constraints, these old obligations, and build something new. And that's happening. I feel like you're already working towards that. I'm also seeing success in a business, or success when it comes to being recognized for your gifts, success when it comes to your passions and what's inspiring to you. There's going to be a lot of success over this next year when it comes to your career and your passions. No longer are you waiting until everything's perfect. I think that you're ready to kind of meet yourself where you're at, and you're ready to make these moves. You're ready to build this new chapter. And the fact that we also have the Conqueror of Wands, this can indicate that we might even be moving, like making a literal move, moving homes, moving cities, or whatever. There could be a big move for you on the horizon, or this would also just indicate that there's going to be a lot of change happening for you. So this could be change in your career, change in your love life, change in your home life. There's some sort of movement though. You're moving forward. You're moving ahead in all of those aspects. I'm honestly feeling like all of those aspects are moving forward for you over the next year. So when it comes to your financial freedom and your financial independence and just more independence and freedom in general, and travel, let me tell you, I'm seeing travel here. I am seeing movement and lots of change and building that helps you build your career more. I am seeing progress in your love life where things are moving forward and you no longer feel bound, and there's more freedom here in your love life, more passion in your love life. There's this open road where you just have so much potential ahead of you, and you're shooting for certain targets, and you're really confident that you're going to hit your target, basically. Also, when it comes to your career, I just see you building something so great here. And I just see more recognition happening. More recognition, and there's going to be opportunities coming out of that recognition. It just feels like you're moving light years ahead. Like, that's something I need to say here. Like, the fire energy is ruled by the sun. And to me, I just keep getting this message in my head that says light years. You're moving light years ahead. You're going to be shocked at how much progress you make over the next year. And even if you don't see that progress right away, like, this progress might even just be like the last 3 months of this next year. So like 9 months from now, that might be where things just like, boom, take off. And you're just going to be shocked at how fast that they move forward. For some of you, this is happening as soon as a couple months from now. You're going to start seeing this progress taking place and seeing these breakthroughs happening. It could be in your immediate future for some of you. Again, it is a general reading, so my timelines are usually pretty broad in the general readings. But for some of you, I'm hearing that it's going to happen like right around the corner, that you're just going to see all these things start to accumulate and start to happen. For some of you, this is going to start happening 9 months from now, and it's just going to take off, and you're just going to notice so much progress happening here. But you're really having these breakthroughs. Like with this Tower card, some people, whenever the Tower card comes up, it's like this big negative thing, and it means that something in your life is like falling apart. However, in your reading, the way that this is, that Spirit is showing the Tower here in this reading, is that this is a very positive breakthrough. Your old Tower was kind of like your safety net, and was sort of all these things that you've built up so far that maybe you're feeling like they're just not working for you anymore, and they're just keeping you stuck. So there's something that you've kind of built in your life right now and progress that you've made, but now you're like, wow, I've changed so much that this thing that I've built for myself, this life that I built for myself, is now feeling restrictive. It's feeling like it's not holding me anymore. It's sort of like you've outgrown your shell. Like group number 1, you're like a beautiful snail or hermit crab or something that you've just outgrown your shell. I don't see you as either of those animals, but you know, that's like an example that we could use. It's like you've outgrown your shell, and you're just ready for so much more. You're going from this 9 of Wands where things were, you know, maybe we were a little bit timid, maybe we were still thinking about the failures that happened in the past, we're being cautious, but it's like you're breaking through and you're just so ready to like step up into that full leadership role. This is amazing. And I know I keep going on about this, but I'm just seeing like some really beautiful stuff here. So hopefully you don't mind my rambling. With that being said though, let's go ahead and dive right into some more cards here. So group 1, we also have Ask Body and Speak Truth. I'm hearing for some of you, you're getting over anxiety. Like your body has been speaking to you. Your body wants to expand. But some of you have felt held back because of anxiety that you feel. But I see that you're facing that and working through that anxiety. Because, okay, so this Tower is sort of like the anxiety that you feel, right? And it's like you're right here right now as the 9 of Wands, and you're sort of prepared to face it, but it's still sort of in the way. But it's sort of like right when you start facing this and breaking through this Tower, breaking through this wall, on the other side of that, we have the King of Wands, where you step into your light, you step into your power, you step into that full leadership, freedom, spontaneous, fun, exciting, powerful place. It's very creative there. And so there's these certain breakthroughs that I think that you're going to have, and it's going to unlock more creativity for you. You've been really wanting to shine. You've been wanting to speak up. You've been wanting to honor your authenticity. But to honor your authenticity, you have to face this and break through it. And that's what you're doing over this next year. Like, I just see that you're going to be even better at communicating, even because some of you maybe even felt restricted in your throat chakra, maybe restricted when it came to speaking what it is you really want, or allowing your voice to shine, or putting your voice out there. For some of you, I'm getting a social media vibe. Like some of you have been wanting to grow your business via social media and market or do something with your voice online. But when it came to doing it, it's like there was this fear. But over this next year, I just really see you're overcoming that, and you're overcoming some anxieties, some fears that were standing in the way. You're spreading your wings. You're allowing your authenticity to shine. Let's see what else we get here. We also have get creative. The creative spark is just going to be hitting for you. I feel like you're going to be soaring. Things are going to be great. And I know all of this just sounds like all great and whatever, and you might be like, this is too good to be true. But it comes through facing this, which I feel like you know on a deep level of you that you have to face and overcome this block and this this wall that you've almost been cooped up in. You know, it's this safety net where we feel like, oh, this is comfortable and familiar with this tower, but you know that in order to expand, we need to have a breakthrough here. We need to face, you know, the unknown, the expansion of that. So that is what we got there. Ooh, there's a card that just flew out. So we have a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. If you needed confirmation that your desire and the things that you're currently building, if you needed confirmation that that's happening, there you go. We have this card right here, a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Keep holding the vision. Like, you're on your way. This is building. This is happening. This is about continuing to make progress, continuing to hold that vision that you have for yourself and having a breakthrough. I'm also randomly hearing something really random. If you've like broken something recently, like something that you liked, such as like a plate or a glass or a crystal or something, maybe even a piece of jewelry broke or something. I'm just hearing like something recently broke. And that's a symbol of set yourself free. Have a breakthrough. Even if something hasn't broken yet, and if something does break, I'm not trying to tell you that something's going to break. So don't put that energy out there. However, if that just randomly does happen, it is a symbol from spirit of like breakthrough. Okay. Also, it's interesting that it's just this tower card. Like, it just feels so fragile in the center. And it's interesting because I broke this crystal a super long time ago, and there's like a line through it. And it's just reminding me of this. And I just feel like it's a random weird message of breakthrough. So anyway, moving on. Let's get another card here. We also have double mission, Lightworker, Starseed, serve the world by being you. That's powerful. Serve the world by being you, double mission. So right now you might also be working two different jobs or doing two different things, and maybe it's a lot for you right now. Like maybe right now you have a certain job where you're obligated to do certain things, but there's also another side thing that you're wanting to build and work on. Whatever it might be, there might be some sort of double mission that you have going on right now, or maybe you're trying to balance like work life plus other obligations, or however that looks for you right now. But this is a message that continue through that, continue to see that vision that you have, continue building what it is that you really want, even if it means that we're working a little bit double right now, because whatever it is that you're building is beautiful and it will be successful. Okay, so serve the world also by being you. Serve the world by being you, allowing that authenticity to come out. That's something that's going to be totally transforming you over this next year, is that authentic voice coming out. Okay. Go ahead and see what else we get here. Group one. Group one. Okay. Dream gate. Ooh. It's time for you to take action on something. If you've been procrastinating on a dream that you have, if you've been procrastinating on it, like, it's time. Spirit's coming through being like, it's time. It's time. Let's see what else we have here. We also have emergence. Oh, if you've been in your shell as well, like, spirit just keeps coming through in this reading. Like, it's time to emerge. It's time to come out of your shell. It's time to go for what you really want. This is time to lift the veil. Ooh, I'm also hearing something that you've been working on. If there's a project you've been working on that you've just had secret for now, this is time to like release that. I feel like it's going to be coming out over the next year. Now's the time. Now's the time to unveil what it is that you're working on. Also letting go of perfectionism so that you can actually complete this thing. Then we also have clear waters. Ooh. Some of you might also have a desire to like declutter right now. And over the next year, I see you decluttering a lot to where your life becomes a little bit more minimal, but in a good way. Like, yeah, you're working on making things a little bit more minimal and a little bit more manageable. Clear answers are coming your way. A clear vision is coming your way. Things are gaining more clarity. So anything that you're currently confused about or anything that's currently like unknown for you, things are going to get clear very quickly for you. And over this next year, you're going to have full clarity on your path. Like I'm seeing full clarity on your path. I'm also seeing that some of you are going on a tropical vacation, and it's going to have a very beautiful either lake or ocean. It's going to be a very exciting, like this is something that you dreamed about, like a vacation that you've been really wanting to go on. That's going to happen in the next year, within the next year. For some of you, it might even happen like a few months from now, but then for some of you, it might also happen like 11 months from now. But there is some sort of like really exciting, beautiful, magical kind of vacation that I think that you're going to go on, or travel opportunity that you're going to have. It's going to be very transformative for you. Okay, so that is what we have there. Let's go ahead now and dive into our Astro Dice to get some more information on this reading for you. So let's see, we have the South Node in Aries in the 11th house. Oh, we have travel again with that 11th house there. The South Node kind of indicates things that we've already done or things that we've already been working on, talents that we already have. This is time for you to utilize those talents that you've already built. There also might be someone coming up from your past. This is not like a bad someone from your past, by the way. So I don't want you guys to hear this and be like, no, someone from my past. Like this is going to be a very positive relationship that's coming back into your life. A very positive relationship. This could be a friend that you haven't seen in a long time. This could be a family member you haven't seen in a long time. But there's like a new beginning with someone from your past also over the next year. Let me see if I see anything else in here. For some of you, you're rebranding. I'm seeing a rebranding. If you have like a company or a business, or if you have like a social media presence, or if you have a desire of what you want to do, there's some sort of rebrand happening around it, or some sort of redefinition at least. Maybe not a full rebrand, but some sort of maybe redefinition on it and some change happening there. So yeah, that's another thing I'm seeing. So that is our reading for you. Group number 1, all about a new beginning here. 1 year from now, looks like there's going to be tons of changes. Something you're working on is fully coming out. There's a full emergence. You're fully coming out. And I feel like you're coming out of your shell to become more authentic, to honor yourself. And it's going to really help you build who you are. It's going to help you have more freedom. Also, if you've been sort of being a hermit and being stuck and allowing certain things to hold you back, like over this next year, you're no longer having that. There's going to be full breakthroughs. So anyway, that is what we have here. There was a little recap for you. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, so my group number 2 is if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about your life in 1 year from now. So let's dive right into it. All right, group number 2, here's what we have for you. So we have the 3 of Pentacles being reversed, and we have the Conqueror of Pentacles upright. Then we have the Conqueror of Chalices reversed, and then the Shadow upright. So one of the first messages that I'm getting for you is over this next year, even right now in your life, I feel like you are defining your value. You're starting to realize what your value truly is, because I feel like you've settled for certain things, maybe relationships or maybe a career where maybe you just feel a little bit undervalued or underappreciated. Maybe this is even from yourself. Like maybe you don't give yourself enough credit or appreciation for all the things that you do in life. And maybe you feel behind. Maybe you have these super high standards and it's hard for you to meet those high standards for yourself. And I feel like you're a very giving person and you tend to give a lot without expecting much in return, which at the same time, like that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful aspect. But I really see in your life over this next year, you're working on your value and you're redefining your value. And I think that you're just realizing that you need to be appreciated. You need to take time for yourself, to give to yourself. Instead of just overspending our energy and giving so much of it away, we also need to equally give back to ourselves and do things that fill our cup. And the fact that we have the Conqueror of Chalices being reversed here, right now you might feel a bit drained, maybe even a little bit unfulfilled, or feeling like your energy, it's like we can't find our energy to be creative, and it's like we're just taking care of our responsibilities at this time, but it's almost like we're not making room to have fun. We're not making room to find fulfillment and do the things that really fill our cup, because maybe there's just so much on our plate and all of these responsibilities are just stacking up to the point where we're like a little bit overwhelmed. So that's kind of what these cards are telling me about where you're at right now. What I'm seeing for you a year from now is you're going to be slowly getting rid of obligations that are not a hell yes for you. I think that you're learning your value and what your time is worth. And if something is not a hell yes, then it's a hell no, right? And that's one of the most amazing things that I read in some productivity book. I think it might have been by Mark Manson. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember where I heard that quote from. Either way, there's this saying that if something's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. And I think that you're slowly going to be sort of getting rid of these things in your life that are taking up too much time for you, to where you feel like you're just being pulled in all these directions and you have no time for you. I feel like you're learning how to create time for you. You're learning how to incorporate more fun into your life, how to honor more fun and more enjoyment in your life. And I think you're just realizing the importance of that, right? Like the vibe that I'm getting from you is that there's almost this energy that if you're not being productive and if you're not doing all these things that are taking care of responsibilities or taking care of other people's responsibilities and doing things that are super productive or doing things that are going to get you ahead or get somebody else ahead, you almost feel like you're not spending your time right. You almost feel guilty for taking time out to have fun or taking time out for yourself. And over this next year, I think there's just going to be this massive realization about how to balance your time better, basically. And I think there's going to be this huge realization of how important fulfillment is and filling up your own cup. And the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? I think that this is going to be one of the biggest questions that you're asking yourself. The purpose of life is not to work and take care of responsibilities and take care of other people. The purpose of life is to create a beautiful experience, and being able to share that with others is amazing as well. But life is about filling your cup, and we can only give to other people when we have a full cup. But it's almost like you're running on empty and you're still trying to get all these things done, but it's like there's nothing left. And it's hard to give to others when we have an empty cup. You know what I mean? Like, try taking an empty cup and trying to pour some of that into someone else's. They're not going to get much out of that, right? And that's why it's so important to focus on ourselves once in a while, you know, and have a good balance between ourselves and life's responsibilities. And I just feel like that's like the biggest thing that's happening for you right now is realizing your value, your worth, and also realizing that you are worthy to take a vacation. You are worthy of having fun. There's a little ant that's kind of trying to crawl over here right now, but you're worthy of having fun. Okay, let's get rid of this little guy. He's like causing chaos and destruction here. So yeah, anyway, you are so worthy of having fun. You are about to break free. The fact that we have the shadow card here, this is the devil. And the devil is the card of illusion. So the illusion that you are unveiling over this next year is this illusion that you're not worth anything unless you're being ultra productive, right? That's the illusion. We feel like if we're not being productive, then why I'm just being a waste of space. However, that's so not true. Oh my gosh. When you're having fun and you're creating beautiful experiences, you're a happier person. You have more to give. And let's say you go out with a group of friends or even show up to work being in such a good mood because maybe you just had the vacation of your life and you're like, oh my God, this is so fun. You're gonna show up to work in such a good mood, and that boosts other people's moods, right? That helps uplift everyone. And then let's say that you have to work with clients, right? And you just got back from this amazing vacation and you're just in such a good mood that you're laughing and having fun. And then you're talking to your clients and you boost their mood. And then those clients are like, oh my God, this person that I work with is just so fun. They're so amazing. Oh my God, I'm going to recommend them to everybody because they're just so fun to be around. People love being around people who are fulfilled. People love being around people who are fulfilled. However, it's hard to be around people who are not fulfilled because you almost feel like the energy's being drained, or you feel like you're taking someone's time who has like no time to give. And that's a hard feeling, right? So the importance here is realizing how important it is to honor yourself, fill your cup with beautiful experiences. Life is to be experienced, not to be worked. Like, this is your biggest thing. So anyway, back to you outside of this philosophy, back to like how your life's going to be changing. Over this next year, you're going to be prioritizing your rejuvenation, your fulfillment. You are going to be also prioritizing your foundation, your sense of security. Because also the fact that we have this Conqueror of Pentacles upright, you're also going to be making progress towards detailing out your life, creating a new schedule. You're genuinely going to be living a new schedule this next year. Like, you're going to have completely different things written down in your schedule than you do right now. It's going to be entirely different. And it's going to transform in a beautiful way. Like, what I'm seeing is that you're overcoming these old illusions and these old things that you used to tell yourself that kept you stuck or kept you unfulfilled and kept you overworking and overdoing. And it's interesting because also when we show up to work, when we're fulfilled, we have so much more energy to get things done, and we almost barely get drained from it because we just have so much energy. We're showing up so happy and so fulfilled that we get things done faster and it's easier to do things. However, when we show up with an empty cup, it's very difficult. It's hard to get through life. It's hard to do anything. It's hard to talk to people, you know? So anyway, I just see that whole thing transforming for you. I just see you're going to be respecting your time so much more. You're going to be respecting your fulfillment. And that's one of the most beautiful things that we can do for ourselves. So with that being said, let's dive into this next deck of cards here. So we also have the Creator. You're stepping back into the creator seat of your life rather than letting life create you. Like, it almost seems like you were giving your time and your schedule away to what other people needed from you. You're giving it away to your work. You're giving it away to responsibilities. You're giving it away to needing to do. You're stepping back into the creator's seat over this next year. And you're like, oh no, wait. Life is meant to be for me to create. So whatever it is that I want to do, I should be doing, right? Let's see what else we get here. Group two. Group two. I'm really feeling this card right here. Release. There's going to be a massive release, letting go of obligations that don't feel right to you, letting go of responsibilities that don't feel right to you. Having the courage to say no. You are genuinely learning the power of saying no, and you're learning how to say no. Oh, I almost feel like, oh my goodness. One other thing that's going to change for you, I just got this image in my head of whenever you have tried to say no in the past, it's almost really hard for you to say no. It's almost like it takes you like, you have to almost work up the courage to tell someone no, and you feel guilty for saying no to someone. And maybe it takes you like 3 hours to type up a response of being like all these reasons why you can't do something. And then you're like, oh my God, do I even send that? Oh my God, how do I say no? So over this next year, I think you're just going to be learning how easy it is to say no, because it can be easy, but it's knowing how to do that. And it's knowing how to respect your time enough to just say no. And we don't even need to explain it. Like if someone's like, oh, can you help me with this on Friday? You don't need to wait for some crazy excuse to pop up to say no. You can literally just say, no, sorry, I can't do that. You don't even need to explain it. You don't even need to say like, oh no, blah, blah, blah happened, blah, blah, blah. I need to do blah, blah, blah. Like you don't even need to wait for that. You can just say no. No. No means no, and that's fine. You don't need to have an explanation for everything. And that's like one of the things that Spirit for some reason wanted to say right now. Yeah, and look at, you're taking back control over your universe. This is being the puppet master of your universe. It's not being manipulative or controlling, but it's realizing that you're the creator of you. You get to decide what you string yourself to, what you attach to, versus what you cut off. And you can cut things off, that's okay. Sorry, Spirit wants to say all these like advice things. Hopefully it's helpful. I just keep getting these advice messages in my head as we're doing this reading. So yeah, over this next year, you are calling back your freedom to release things, to say no, so that you can jump off these lily pads that you don't want to be on. You can go back to your own lily pad and just be you, just do you. Okay, so let's dive into some more stuff here. I think you're coming back to living your own life. Like, that's the most powerful thing here. We also have Star Family. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. Also, when was the last time you asked for help? You're so good at, I feel like, helping others and showing up for other people. When was the last time you asked for help? You can ask for help. That's another thing that's coming up. And I think over this next year, you're going to learn how to delegate tasks and how to ask for help. I'm also really hearing that there is some tasks that you've been needing to delegate for a while, but you just haven't yet. And I feel like it's going to start showing up over this next year. Like you might all of a sudden hear people talking about something really often. They might be talking about like, oh, I just got a maid, and then your other friend gets a maid, and then the person that you work with also gets a maid, and you're like, wait a minute, I should do that, right? Or something else. Like I'm just throwing out arbitrary examples, but there also could be something in work. Like maybe you own a business and maybe you're like, no, I can take care of everything myself, but maybe this is the time where we're like, hey, maybe I should hire an employee, or maybe I can ask my family for help for something. Maybe I can ask my friends to do a favor for me. Okay? So you're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. I feel like there's a part of you that's like so independent. You do everything on your own, but you're not alone. You can call in your people. And I also feel like you're going to be surrounded by more people who are willing to help you, and the opportunity for that's going to be showing up more and more in your life over this next year, and just being able to get help from other people. Like these two cards are just repeating that message. Also, this ant wants to come back. And if you think about ants, they all work together. The ant's like he's so close to crawling back in the frame of the camera. And maybe, yep, there we go. Okay, anyway. Ants are collaborators. So this is your little message. It's the ant message of collaboration. Ants are collaborators. And look at this ant. He's like trying to do everything on his own right now. There's no other ants in here. He should go back to where his family are from. But so anyway, like you're not alone. You're not alone. There's people around you who can help you. This is time for honoring yourself and your time. So we have activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. We also have loosen your grip, coping mechanism, density, addiction, let God in. Part of you maybe likes to do everything on your own because that way you get to control it, right? That way you know exactly what the outcome is, you know exactly what you're getting, because you're doing it yourself. And I feel like part of you has a hard time asking other people for help, or hiring someone else to do something, or asking someone else to do something for you, because they might not do it up to your standards. They might not do it the same way that you would. And I feel like part of you has a fear of inviting other people in because of that. But I feel like you're learning over this next year how important it is to just be open to how other people do it. It doesn't need to be the exact same way you do it, right? Learning how to honor your time enough that we're okay with hiring someone else to do something or asking someone else to help us with something, and knowing that they might not do it the exact same way as us, but it's still better than us handling everything by ourselves, because that gets to a point where it becomes impossible eventually. So that is what we have here. My beautiful group number 2s. I feel like pulling more cards on this. Let's see. Let's dive into these cards. I feel like we haven't pulled enough cards yet. So group 2. Let's see what else we get for you. Group 2. Okay, we have cleansing waters. You're really like saying no and shedding things that are no longer working for you. There's some things that you're surrounded by or obligated to that just don't feel good. Over this next year, you're going to be cleansing those things from your life, even cleansing certain people from your life. Obligations and people are being cleansed from your life. We also have magnetic heart. Ooh. Calling in the things that resonate with you. There's going to be a lot of new people that come into your life over the next year. Also, your fulfillment, as you get more fulfilled and focus on your fulfillment, focus on your happiness, you're going to be led to new places. You're going to be guided to new places, making new choices. Look at this. This ant just keeps wanting to say hello for you. But yeah, magnetic heart. I feel like you're being led somewhere new. And as soon as you start honoring your time, I feel like you're just going to attract to you the people who are meant to help you. You're going to start attracting that to you because you're honoring your time, and your energy speaks for itself, and you're going to start magnetizing because of the shift in your energy. Because you're focused on your fulfillment, you are now going to be a magnet for people who can also help you be fulfilled and continue and support that fulfillment. People who are also fulfilled themselves as well. You're going to start attracting all of those people to you and all of that energy to you. So that is what we have here. Let's go ahead and end off this reading by getting into our astro days. And let's see any last messages for you. Group 2. We have the sun in Capricorn in the 2nd house. Look at that productivity there. Oh my goodness. If you guys weren't the productivity group, I wouldn't know what you are, because like we got more productivity messages here. I see that you're also going to be saving more money over this next year. Saving more money. It's interesting because sometimes we feel like we need to be more productive to make more money, to save more money. But the interesting thing is sometimes when we just focus on our fulfillment and we put our fulfillment first and foremost, oddly, sometimes we attract more abundance to us because we're more fulfilled. And when we're more fulfilled, we can work less. But the work that we actually do, there's more energy that we end up putting into it because our cup is full. No matter how much you work from an empty cup, you're never going to get as much done in a decade as you would in a year of having a filled cup. Does that make sense? Like your cup represents your energy. If you're showing up with a lack of energy, it doesn't matter how much work you put into something, it's never going to be as good as if you just focus on your fulfillment. And maybe you do less work because you have to delegate some of that time towards your fulfillment. So maybe you're doing less work, but you'll oddly be more productive because you'll have more energy to put into your work. And that speaks for itself. Oddly, it's interesting because it's saying that over this next year, you're going to be, maybe slightly less productive because you're going to be focusing more on your fulfillment, but you're going to be making more money. You're going to be saving more money and making more money. Like, what? It seems paradoxical, but it's so true. When you show up and do things with a filled cup, you get so much more out of it. There's so much more success there, and you usually get much more opportunity. I just see you making so much more, to the point where you're like, why didn't I realize this sooner? Why didn't I make these changes sooner? I just see you being so much more inspired. You have so much more to give, but you're not just giving it all away, because now you're going to realize the importance of keeping a fulfilled cup and a full cup. Also within this message, I see that there's some sort of nice thing that you're going to be attaining over this next year. There's some sort of nice, it could be a purchase, like maybe you're going to be investing in a home or a new car or something here, but there's some sort of big purchase that you're going to be making over this next year, but it's going to be a comfortable big purchase. It just feels right. It feels good. It could be like a purchase of new technology. Like maybe you're going to be improving by buying like a new computer, or just there's some sort of investment that you're making. I also see you being surrounded by a better environment. Like you're going to be focused on improving your environment, and that's going to feel really good for you as well. So yeah, that is what we have here. My beautiful group number 2s. It's interesting, you're number 2 and we also got the second house for you. Your diet's also cleaning up as well over the next year. So those are all the messages that we have for you. I hope that made sense. I hope it resonated for you, group number 2. Thank you so much for joining me here today, all about your life in 1 year from now. Looks like there's going to be a lot of beautiful changes, a lot more fulfillment, and working on yourself and your happiness. And there's a lot of great repercussions that are coming from doing that. So I'm sending you so much love. Again, thank you so much for joining me here today. And until next time. Bye. All right, my group number 3s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be a reading all about your life in 1 year from now. So let's dive right in. All right, so group 3, there is so much going on here. So we have the Knight of Swords being reversed. We have Judgment upright, Strength upright, and then the Ten of Swords being reversed over here. So the first thing that I'm seeing for you, one of the biggest changes, is that your life right now, based on what's coming up, seems like there's a bit of a whirlwind, either a whirlwind in your mind mentally or some sort of whirlwind in your life with the events that are happening in your life. And one of the first things that Spirit wants you to know is that 1 year from now, you are not going to be dealing with these same problems at all. Like this is like you are clearing your slate. All of the things that seem chaotic and almost seem like you're stuck in a tornado, either mentally or in your life event-wise, that stuff is ending. The dust is settling, and there's going to be calm and peace, and you're finding your strength through this. You are actually strengthening on such a deep level right now, and through this process, 1 year from now, you are going to be such a strong, wise, patient, and just like lioness or a lion type of individual. This strength card is just so wildly different and is so powerful compared to what we have going on over here. So there's something that's happening in your life right now. Wow, this same ant keeps crawling into all of my videos. This is ridiculous. I keep shooing him off the table and he keeps crawling back up. I don't know. That's so weird. There's literally no ants in this room, but that one just keeps wanting to say hello. So yeah, I also see that if you find your life right now super busy to the point where it's a little bit chaotic, and maybe you've been making decisions really fast or doing things really fast, or maybe there's even been indecision at times, but it just seems like there's so many choices to make, so many things going on, your life is going to become a lot more stable. There's a solid foundation that you're creating. And I also see you ending these old patterns that are sort of keeping you stuck and keeping this tornado happening. I think that you're going to be cutting out certain relationships that no longer serve you, and you're gaining the strength to find your independence and no longer rely on these relationships, because I feel like there's certain people in your life that might be holding you back, or certain people in your life that keep the chaos just going. They keep this pattern of chaos going. I see that you're ending this, you're gaining the strength to end patterns. Patterns when it comes to yourself and things that you want to change on a personal level. And then you're also gaining the strength to end things with other people on relationship levels that no longer resonate with you. I see you surrounding yourself by really good people, but you're having this patience and you're getting more grounded. If things feel so up in the air right now, 1 year from now, you're gonna be so grounded and rooted, and you're gonna be sprouting like a brand new flower. It's almost like right now, I'm getting this feeling like you almost feel like a tumbleweed in the wind, and you're just getting blown around, and there's circumstances that are almost out of your control that just keep sending you willy-nilly everywhere. But 1 year from now, it's sort of like you're gonna root very powerfully and very strongly, and you're gonna find where you belong. I also wouldn't be surprised if you really find somewhere that you really love. Like maybe you're going to move somewhere, or maybe with this clearing of your life and clearing out these negative events, these negative people, you're just going to feel so much more powerful, so much more strong. You're really learning how to stand up for yourself, how to speak your truth, and how to have so much courage behind yourself. I also see you developing really deep self-love, self-compassion. You're going to be focused on that very deeply over this next year. And I think you're going to do something really powerful for yourself. So I think that there's a decision that you are going to be making, and maybe it's looming around in your mind right now. Maybe you've just started with this new decision, or maybe it's something that you're thinking about, but you're going to really root into this new decision. It's going to be something that really improves you. It's like you're committing to some sort of improvement of yourself, and this improvement, it's going to pay off, and you're going to be so pleased with the results of this improvement and the work that you're going to be putting into yourself. You're going to be so ultimately proud of yourself that you're almost going to look back on these old past circumstances and you're going to be like, wow, did I ever have low standards back then? And oh my goodness, are you ever up-leveling yourself? You are up-leveling yourself and you're glowing up. I'm almost hearing this word in my head, or this scenario. I feel like you're almost going to have people from your past that see you again, and they're gonna be like, wow, what did you do to yourself? Like in the best way possible. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like you just like glowed up. I just see you feeling different, almost even looking different because of the love that you're giving yourself. I see this improvement and this glow that you're gonna have, and other people are gonna see it too. And I also just see your personality becoming very strong. It's like things that you're unsure about right now, you're no longer going to be unsure about them. It's going to be so much easier for you to make a decision. It's going to be so much easier for you to know what you want. I think your values are improving and going to the next level. Different things that you're impatient about right now, I feel like you're learning patience, but also through that patience and through this strength that you're rooting down into, you're going to be able to blossom bigger, better, and more successful than you ever have before. Like you're blossoming, you're a butterfly, you're transforming, you are becoming the lion. I think that you're no longer scared of confrontation. Like you're not going to be scared of it anymore because you're like, I know myself, I know my worth, I know what I deserve. And through that, you're just building this very strong foundation and energy and version of yourself. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Also with Judgment here, we have Thoth, and he's coming up, and the message that I'm getting from Thoth is like this ancient wisdom. You're going to be learning how to discern so much better, and you're also going to be learning how to see through lies. I think that's something that you're already probably pretty good at, but you're going to be able to do that so much better, to the point where you don't have to stay stuck in patterns anymore, because you're just going to be able to see that pattern and be like, nope, I don't want that. That's not going to fool me again. And you just know so well how to hold your own space and how to set boundaries. Like boundaries are going to be a huge thing for you, group 3. Setting boundaries, keeping boundaries, and making sure no one walks over you and disrespects you. Like you're changing in all the best ways, group 3. I'm so excited for you. Also with the Judgment card, you're being called to rise up. You're being called to step up and to rise up. And I feel like you've been feeling that already. I feel like you feel this calling to rise up, to step up. Maybe you're even called to reading self-improvement books lately, or maybe you're even being called to use that strength, to recognize your strength, to build that strength. There might even be a certain problem that you have to face, and you know it's going to take strength to face that problem, but you're ready to hold yourself, hold your own, and hold those boundaries, and, create that respect for yourself. To speak your truth without needing to sugarcoat it or people please or walk on your tippy toes through something. You're ready to just stand your ground, root strong. I know my messages can sometimes get a little bit repetitive, so I apologize if they are getting repetitive, but sometimes Spirit just has so much to say about a topic that it just like keeps coming through and keeps coming through. But also with this 10 of Swords being reversed, this is also so powerful, because this indicates that whatever situations you're currently dealing with, if there's something that's hurting you, if there's a concern about health or a concern about a confrontation or something that's weighing on you. You are on the completion stage of this and you will never have to face it again. You're learning strength to end patterns so that you never have to experience negative pattern, that same negative pattern again. You are cutting things off. You are completing a huge stage of karma that you are in. It's also interesting that we have 2 major arcana cards and then 2 sword cards. This happened in group number 1 where we had 2 or 3 cards that were like the same element. And for you, we have 2 cards that are the same element, and then we also have our major arcana cards. But the fact that we have double swords here, the swords indicate things that are going on in the mind for us. This deals with communication, learning, other people, speaking our truth, finding our authenticity, cutting things out of our life, wisdom, knowledge, learning, all of that. So I think that you're just going through this stage and you're getting so much more strength mentally. If you've been struggling with anything mentally, like, you are gaining the strength to grow out of that to where it's no longer going to ever bother you again. When it comes to communication, I just think that you're learning how to communicate with strength. No longer fearing the judgment or rejection of other people, honoring your truth above all. Let's see what else we get for you. We have Get Creative. I love that card. I think that you're going to be soaring. Like soaring above the clouds, soaring above things that used to bother you. We also have Surrender, and we have the tree that's so strongly rooted in the ground. I also feel like you're letting go of trying to control certain situations and you're just accepting them for what they are and making wise decisions based on that. I think you're surrendering to a pattern or cycle that you know, like, it's never going to change unless you make the decision to either cut it off or put in the work and making sure it's never going to go back to the pattern. Like, I think you know what to do. You know internally what to do to stop the pattern in your life. And 1 year from now, yeah, like, that pattern is non-existent for you. You're learning so much. You're so wise, group number 3. Like, I feel like you're just learning so much over this next year. And it's transforming you as a person. It transforms your energy. It transforms how you go about life, how you carry yourself. You also have Sacred Destruction. There's certain things that you're absolutely getting rid of in your life. There's certain things that you're like, I'm no longer ever putting up with that. You're so ready. Also, this is like owl eyes. Owls are knowledge and wisdom. If something's keeping you up at night right now, something that just like randomly appears in your mind and just gives you anxiety, that's going to be something that's no longer bothering you anymore a year from now. You're ending that pattern, you're ending that cycle. You won't have to face that anymore. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into our next set of cards. Group 3. Ooh, wow, we had a lot come out, but let's go with it. Let's see what these are. Okay, these ones seem like they're the most prominent. Oh, that's so weird. We had this come up for a different group as well. Okay, let's see. So we have Double Mission and A New Earth. You're really opening up a brand new chapter of your life, and your world, like your personal world, your personal life is going to be so different from where you currently are. It's like you're literally building a new world. I think that you're going to be surrounded by different people. I think your life is going to look very different a year from now. It's happening. Keep holding your vision. So whatever it is that you really want to manifest in your life, keep holding that vision. Hold that vision for yourself. And it's time to honor your boundaries by, destroying the things that are holding you back from your integrity, that are holding you back from your authentic self. Destroying old patterns, choosing to end cycles, breaking that pattern, breaking that wheel, breaking that habit even, right? Double Mission, Lightworker, Starseed, serve the world by being you. You're stepping up more into your authenticity. I feel like so many people are doing that right now. I feel like all of us are just like, I'm tired of having to put on a mask to people please, and I just see you stepping up into yourself. And gold is going to be your color. Gold. Like you might be attracted to gold, you might be attracted to yellows or metallic-y kind of stuff lately. This is about honoring yourself. Gold is a color of ascension and of truth, of honesty, of taking action. Gold is associated with the sun, and the sun is all about honoring your soul, honoring your light, not dimming your light for anyone. I feel like this is your time. Oh, and it's interesting. We have Leo here too with the judgment card, or strength card, sorry. With the strength card, we have Leo. Leo, the line, is connected, of course, to the sun. So this is also a reflection of gold. This is you stepping up into your value. I think you're seeing yourself differently, and you're going to really value yourself. And you're not going to dim your light for people anymore. I think that you're just tired and you're done doing that. You're done kind of protecting other people by dimming your light, right? Or protecting other people's feelings or their opinions by dimming yourself. I feel like you're so ready to just stand up into who you are. And all that. We also have weight of the world, boundaries. Look at that. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. It's time to not carry other people's problems. Like 1 year from now, it's like you're living for you and not feeling the need to carry other people's problems or worrying so hard about their feelings. It's time for you to just be you and create proper boundaries that need to be respected. We also have cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. I feel like you feel like you're there right now. You feel like kind of, maybe you're stuck in some chaos right now. And maybe it kind of feels like a rock bottom to you. And we also have the surrender card over here. I really feel like whatever you're going through right now is actually alchemizing you to step into your strength, to step up into the highest version of yourself. And alchemy, we can take something like lead and we can turn it into gold. That's like one of the older sayings of alchemy. Alchemy is so much more than just turning lead into gold. However, that's like a common way of looking at alchemy. And we're talking about gold here. You're like, it's so interesting that your message was gold. And then we have alchemy. You might feel like your worth is being tested right now, and where you're questioning your worth, your values, and all these different things. And maybe you're even going through a time where you don't feel very worthy of certain things. Maybe you feel, that's not the right way to say it. Maybe you just feel like, I feel like there's been judgment on yourself, like harder judgment on yourself. This next year, you're opening up to seeing your worth, looking at what's truly there, what's truly inside of you. And I think that you're going to start recognizing your worth, realizing how worthy you really, 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 really are. I feel like this is actually, whatever you're going through right now is going to be a beautiful time of getting rid of self-judgment, self-criticism. Maybe not fully getting rid of it. I don't feel like we're ever fully free of that. But however, you're freeing yourself enough to where it's no longer hindering you and weighing on you in the same way. It's good for us to have inner reflection and to make judgments on our inner self and to be able to see ourselves in a true light. That's a positive thing, but sometimes we end up being way too harsh with it. And that ends up being negative and holding us back. I think that you're healing that. You're deeply healing that. And circumstances that right now maybe you feel bad about, and maybe certain things in your life that you feel are negative and that they hold you back, I think you're going to be alchemizing those, and you're literally taking lead, experiences that make you feel like lead, and you're turning them into gold. You're alchemizing your life right now. You're taking something that's kind of meh, and you're making something amazing out of it. We also have the great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. I mean, if that one doesn't speak so clearly about what we've all been talking about, then I don't know what does. The great severing. You're cutting ties to like old patterns again. We have that once again showing up here. If there's like anger or conflict that you're dealing with right now, I really see that that's ending as well. Like if you have anger or conflict within a friend group or a partnership or a family member, if there's like anger and conflict going on right now, that it almost seems endless and you don't know when it's going to heal, I see this softening over the next year. I see, like if there's something also that you're really angry about, that it's hard to let go of. It's going to get easier. Over this next year, I see this getting easier for you. Let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. My group 3s. Deep mysteries. Ooh, if anything is kind of confusing to you in your life right now, oh, I see you like learning, deeply learning. Like you might have an inclination to learn new things, maybe taking an online course. Maybe also, if there's something that you're confused about in life right now, I see you getting the answer to that very deeply. Like getting a deep answer to whatever it is that you're currently confused about. And the answer is deeper than you think, and you're going to be discovering that. We also have restful pause. That's amazing. I do feel like you're going to have time for yourself over this next year, and it's going to be very rejuvenating and refreshing for you. We also have shifting fear. That's amazing that we have that coming up as well. Restful pause. I think you're taking time out to yourself over this next year, and it's going to be amazing. Why am I seeing Greece for some of you? I feel like some of you are called to Greece, to explore Greece, and some of you will be doing that. That's so specific. I feel like if that message is for you, you're going to know because it's probably something you've already been thinking about. That's just, I don't know, that just like randomly came up. But if that doesn't resonate with you and you're like, wait, what? Then you can discard that. But for some reason, I'm seeing Greece for some of you. Maybe that's been in the plans. I don't know. What else am I seeing here? Some of you, this is like Croatia, Greece. What other countries am I getting? For some reason, Germany keeps wanting to pop in my head. Let me see if I see anything else. Costa Rica is popping up here. I don't know. If you've been thinking about some of those places, I don't know, maybe there's some studying that you're doing abroad, or maybe there's a travel situation coming up for you, or maybe you're going to meet somebody from there, or maybe, I don't know, it's somehow in your future though. I don't know, feeling that. So let's go ahead, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into our Astro Dice to get any last information on this reading for you, group 3. We have Uranus in Sagittarius in the 4th house, changing when it comes to the home and when it comes to your foundation. So there's things that you are currently rooted to that are going to be drastically changing, unexpectedly changing. You may even be going through some interesting changes when it comes to your home life, possibly when it comes to your foundation, or like where you live, or changes in your family. There might be expansion happening over the next year when it comes to family, especially unexpected expansion. Like you might be hearing news, maybe you have a sibling or something that's like, oh my God, I'm pregnant, we're having a kid. Or maybe this could even be a reflection of you if that's something that you've been planning for a while. But there's some sort of family expansion or personal foundation home life expansion in some way. This could deal with the family or your home, but there's some sort of change and expansion. I also think that you're expanding yourself. You might even be expanding the ways in which you make money or the ways in which you invest your money. There could also be a shift here with, let's see. Yeah, this is a whole foundation, family, home life, money. There could be an expansion in your money, unexpected expansion, unexpected money coming in. Yeah, that's what we have here. Okay. Group number 3, that's what we have going on for you. There could also be like unexpected travel for family as well. Like that could be another part of this, unexpected travel for family, but it's like fun, it's exciting, it's expansive, it's Sagittarius, all those good energies where it's fun and really exciting and spontaneous. There could be spontaneous decisions happening over the next year. This could definitely be spontaneous decisions when it comes to travel, your home life, your family, unexpected, expansive decisions. Spontaneous decisions. So that is what we have here, my beautiful group number 3s. Thank you so much for joining me here today, all about your life in 1 year from now. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number 4s, if you chose this pile, all about your life in 1 year from now, let's go ahead and dive right in and find out what's in store for you. Okay, group 4, immediate messages coming through. So we have the 6 of Cups upright, the Ace of Swords being reversed, the King of Swords being reversed, and then the 5 of Cups being reversed. immediately when I'm seeing the Ace of Swords upside down with the Six of Cups upright right here, your life in 1 year from now, you are so ready to like outgrow something. Like you're maturing, you are stepping up into more independence, and I feel like you're so ready to cut off ties from your past, or perhaps like ties that keep you, I don't know, keep you kind of stuck in your past. Such as some of you might still feel like you need permission from other people to like do the things that you want to do. And part of you is just ready to be more mature and have that independence and not need to rely on the voices of other people or the opinions of other people or the approval of other people. And you're so ready to just step into more freedom and more independence. And I think you're ready for like just bigger experiences in life. Like you're ready to like do bigger, more exciting things. That's kind of the energy that I get from you. It's like you don't want to be held back by certain things anymore. Also, when it comes to the Six of Cups and the Ace of Swords being reversed, this can also be a reflection of needing to let go of something in our past. Like if there's something in our past that's still keeping us stuck, such as an old relationship that we haven't fully let go of, or different things where it's just like, it almost feels like we're tied or bound by our past or bound to someone, and you're wanting your freedom. And over this next year, you're just like setting yourself more free. This Ace of Swords, it's reversed right here, indicating that we know that we need to cut ties with something in order to create more freedom. This could even be just cutting ties with, you know, feeling scared to do things on our own, like feeling scared to travel where we want to, or making the decision to just book a plane ticket, you know, making the decision to do something for ourselves. You know, sometimes we feel like we need to wait for permission to do those things. Sometimes we feel like we need someone else to be on the same page as us before we feel comfortable making a decision. But sometimes we just need to like have the freedom and just do things because we feel ready to. And I just see that you are coming to a place where you're creating more readiness in yourself to do things and to make decisions and to create more independence for yourself. Another thing that I'm seeing is something that's emotionally holding you back, like something that's emotionally hard for you to let go of, is going to be exiting your life over this next year, and setting you free so that you feel unbound and that you can actually move on to where you really want to go. For some of you, children might be an aspect of this in some way, shape, or form. Like either you are now becoming an adult, or maybe you have certain responsibilities that you can't leave. Like maybe you have children yourself, and I feel like you're wanting to live a little bit more for yourself as well as for the people that you love. But I feel like you're realizing the importance of also living for yourself and needing to do things where you're able to move forward, you're able to move on, you're able to cross a bridge. Like what I see happening over this next year for you is you're crossing a bridge into a new stage, into a new phase of your life. And you're leaving behind something that once kept you down, or maybe you just recently went through sort of a sadness, or you were grieving a loss of something. Something along the lines of this. Maybe you recently went through something like that. Maybe it's been hard to just fully move on from whatever this was. But over this next year, you're completely crossing that bridge and going back into honoring yourself, having this new beginning, this new chapter. You're right now writing a new chapter. And a message that I'm getting from Spirit for you right now, Group 4, is to be specific about what you want this next chapter to be about, because you're literally writing that now. All the decisions that you've been making, all these new thoughts that you've been having have been guiding you into a new direction. And the more specific and the more clear you can get on the vision that you have for yourself, for your future, you're going to be manifesting that on a deep level. There could also be someone in your life. This King of Swords being reversed could be a reflection of you, or it could be a reflection of somebody who's in your life. If it's someone who's in your life, this is likely an air sign person, which would be Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. And this person might be holding you back in certain ways. They might have a lot of opinions, or you might be scared of how they voice their opinions. And there might be some differing thoughts between you both. However, if this is you, if this is a reflection of you, this would indicate that this is like this next year is about you sorting out your thoughts, sorting out your mind so that you're no longer in conflict with yourself. Whenever the King of Swords is reversed, he can sometimes be in conflict with himself. So this would be like having a head and heart disagreement. Maybe we logically know what we should do, but our heart is calling us somewhere else. And this creates an internal conflict where we feel stuck and we feel like we can't move because we're like, okay, what do I choose? Do I honor my heart and do I honor my feelings, or do I honor the logical explanations of things? And how do I feel comfortable doing both? Because it's a double-edged sword almost. Whenever the King of Swords is reversed, it feels like we're in a situation that's a double-edged sword, and it doesn't feel like any decision is the right decision. However, over this next year, I just see you building up your values and building a clearer image of what it is that you want. And all these things are getting sorted out. And what I'm seeing is that you're moving forward. You're moving beyond the hardship, beyond the sadness. And you're able to have this new rebirth, this new beginning. And even though it can be bittersweet, you know on a deep level that this is like worth it to you. You know on a deep level what the best decision is. I feel like you already know it too. It's interesting. I feel like you already know deep down inside what is the best decision for you. And you know that you cannot stay in the sadness or the hurt forever. It's like we need to move on beyond that. And I feel like you are ready for that. I feel like you're ready to blossom. You're ready to bloom. And you're ready to bloom out of your comfort zone. Like, yeah, you're ready to kind of like expand beyond that is basically the biggest message here. I also see you finishing a book. There's maybe a book that you started or a book that you've really wanted to read. You're going to be finishing that. It's also interesting because we have 2 sword cards and then 2 cup cards. So you only have 2 suits of cards here. So 2 different elements, which is the water element and then the air element. That's also really significant. We've been having that pop up in almost every reading. It's like just a couple of different elements or even just one element within the reading. You have 2. You're surrounded by the water. So this is literally your heart, your emotions are calling you one direction, and then your head is calling you another direction, because the air is the mind, it's the logic. But then our emotions are calling us in a different direction. So you might feel a conflict with that right now. However, over this next year, you're no longer going to feel this same conflict. You will have made a decision and you're going to be happy with that decision. I can tell you that. You're going to be proud of yourself, and it's going to allow you the freedom to move forward. This 5 of Cups being reversed is beautiful because it indicates that you've crossed the bridge and you're moved on to a new direction. So let's see what else we get. We also have patience with the turtle, the tortoiseshell. That's the story of the tortoise and the hare, and how moving slow is sometimes the fastest way of moving. Taking time to stop and smell the roses, having patience with yourself, not rushing yourself, taking your time. I also see that in 1 year from now, you're going to be totally calm about this situation. This is no longer going to be affecting you. You're going to feel totally calm and at peace with it. Let's see. What else do we have from my group 4s? We also have ancestors. I feel like you're surrounded by spirit guides who are like really here to help you. And I feel like you've been wanting more stability in your life, more surety. Your ancestors are here guiding you. Patience is key. Keep moving forward. The reason why you haven't felt called to like root yourself down and make a solid foundation, and the reason why you don't feel like you have a solid foundation, is because you're meant to migrate right now. You're meant to move forward, and you don't need to rush forward. This is about tortoise and the hare, right? Be the tortoise. Move forward, but with patience with yourself, honoring the ebbs and flows that comes with moving forward. And then you're going to get to a place where you feel like rooting yourself. And trust me, you're going to get there. 1 year from now, you're going to be in a place in your life where you're ready to have that solidity, to create that foundation, because you'll have moved on and now you're ready to plant your roots again. You're ready to build something. It's hard to plant roots when we're meant to be moving forward and moving on from something, where we're meant to be migrating. Right now is like your time of migration to move forward towards a new chapter, basically. And 1 year from now, what I'm seeing is that your gifts are reigniting. You have certain gifts and talents. You have beautiful, oh my gosh, if you're in writer's block right now, my love, If you've been struggling with writer's block or a creative block lately, that is going away. You won't have to deal with that much longer. The reason why you have that though is because you're meant to be migrating and moving forward, and you might be wondering, okay, how do I do that? What does that mean? Just continue processing and moving on from the emotions, moving on from them, honoring those emotions, listening to them, but moving on from them and continuing to move forward and to heal. That is your migration right now, is to heal. And as you go through that process, your creative spark is going to reawaken, and you're actually going to be more creative than before. You're going to be awakening skills that you're like, wow, these skills have enhanced. They grew without me even knowing it. Your skills and talents are growing right now underneath it all. You might not even recognize that or see that, but your talents and gifts, they're growing right now. And honor that, trust that, be patient with yourself. Don't try to force creativity when it's not there. Take time for you, relax, and be with yourself and move forward, continue to move forward. And don't push yourself either. It's not about pushing yourself and running forward like the hare. This is about slow and steady, honoring those ebbs and flows like the tortoise and moving at that pace. So let's see what else we get. There's a bunch of cards that just fell out. We're going to go with it. Let's see what happened. That just came out with the last group too, where a bunch of these cards fell out. You got the love. Wow. So Hadarian energy, codependency, boundaries. Boundaries, codependency. I think that you're letting go of needing to be with people or needing people to support you or needing the opinions of others. You're really moving on into more independence, and you're being called to move towards more independence, to love yourself and honor yourself first and foremost. Boundaries, setting up those proper boundaries so that certain things don't repeat. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Oh, I feel like this card is so meant for you. Let me just hold that up close to the camera. This is your message right now, for you to honor this message now in your life. Because 1 year from now, this is going to pay off the most, right? So water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. That's literally how you're going to begin moving forward. You are going to grow so much. Like if you take this time to water yourself right now, water your garden, water you, honor yourself, you nourish yourself properly, care for your body, giving yourself the tenderness and the rest that you need, you will be growing more than you realize. Just like when you tend to a garden or you tend to your plants and you nourish them properly and you care for them properly, they're going to grow abundantly versus if you don't. And if you do that right now for yourself, you are going to grow abundantly, which is what I was seeing for you through this patience card and through this ancestors card. What I'm seeing for you is that your skills, who you are as a person, you're going to grow so much, you're going to advance so much over this next year, that when you come back to this creativity, when you come back to your life's mission and purpose, you're going to come back with a blast because you're going to have up-leveled without even realizing it. Your creativity is up-leveling. Your vision is up-leveling. Your whole life is up-leveling. Water your garden. Take care of yourself right now. That's what you should be doing, not pushing yourself to make progress on certain things. This is about slowing down, having patience, nourishing yourself properly, moving past these things, creating that independence, honoring yourself, moving slowly with patience. That is going to be your key. If you tend to rush by things, Group 4, if you tend to rush through things and you just want to get things done fast, you want the decision now. This is your time of learning patience. It is going to pay off so deeply, so incredibly. This is time to nurture yourself, because right as you start nurturing yourself, you're going to grow large roots right when you're ready. And when you have those large roots because you've taken care of yourself, that means all of your flowering, you can have the biggest flower and it's going to bloom even bigger because you have the foundation to support it. But right now is about healing so that you can get here, which you will be, because this is again a 1 year from now reading, so you will be getting here. But the process of getting there, Spirit wanted to speak about the process of getting there. Okay, so We also have the card of I Remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Wow, that's powerful. So destiny and fate and all things like that, we come in this world with sort of a blueprint or soul's mission. And of course we still have autonomy, we still have free will, we can do all the different things, but your soul is going to call you in different directions. You're going to have soul callings where you know that your soul is speaking to you, that tells you, hey, you're meant to do this, or hey, you're meant to go off in this direction. And I feel like you're going to be remembering who you are and what your mission was. And maybe there were certain things that kind of took you off that mission, and certain things in life that came up and they were for your growth. But I really think that you're going to be realizing deeper what your soul plan is and what you're meant to do, who you're meant to be. And of course, we also create that as well. But I think that you're also just going to be feeling deeper into your purpose and what your soul came here to do. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. You're finding where you really belong. If you've felt like out of place lately, trust me, you're finding yourself again. You're going to be finding yourself again on a deep, deep, deep level. And 1 year from now, I just see you living with such purpose, being so rooted in your foundation and being so much more alive because you're taking this time to honor you. I see energy coming back, especially if you felt drained or if you felt overwhelmed. Whenever these sword cards are reversed, sometimes we can feel overwhelmed. You're calming back down. You're getting your grip back. You're getting your life together. Oh, if I could even tell you how put together that you, like the image of you that I'm getting in my mind is so put together 1 year from now. It's like, it comes with ease. Your life is just put together. It's strong, sturdy. There's a sturdy foundation in there. And you're going to be so much more put together and being in sync and in flow. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. Group 4, we have nectar of life. Finding that nectar of life again, that vital life force, prana energy. I think you're reconnecting with the nectar, reconnecting with the nurture. I think that you're going to also be realizing the importance of nurturing yourself over this next year. What's that? Voyage. Wow. A lot of travel stuff coming up for a lot of people. It's so interesting that when the lockdowns and stuff were happening, I remember doing readings back then, and travel was such a rare thing to ever come up in those readings. And now lately, whenever I do readings, it's like travel comes up for almost every pile. And I'm like, wow, are people traveling that much? Wow. So anyway, voyage. There's a couple messages I'm getting from that. We're also going to talk about the nectar of life a little bit more, but first, the voyage card. So some of you may literally be making a trek or a journey or a trip or traveling over this next year. And there could be a very distant, this looks like Japan to me. I don't know if some of you have a desire to go to Japan or somewhere. I'm also getting Indonesia, Malaysia. I'm even getting Thailand from looking at this, Thailand, Malaysia, Japan, even China. What else am I getting here? Kind of the countries like that. Some of you may have a desire to go visit one of those places. But yeah, anyway, voyage can also indicate that we are doing so many different changes over this next year that this journey, we're going to be totally somewhere else in our lives. So wherever you are right now, you're no longer going to be there next year. Next year, you're this is a journey that you're on right now. Your life is going to be completely different. You're going to be at a completely different place in your life 1 year from now, a completely different place. And traveling might be part of that, but I'm also speaking metaphorically. You're going to be at a different place of your life. You're going to be changing so much as a person. You're on this inner journey and also an outer journey, and just everything of your life, I think, is going to look very drastically different 1 year from now. I also think that you're going to be having more energy because I think that you're learning how to squeeze the nectar of life, and you're learning how to live more in the present moment and how to squeeze the joy from each moment, how to find the joy in each moment, how to drink the nectar of life in all moments of life. You're learning how to make the most of every moment. You're realizing also how precious life is and how precious experience is, which I think is going to help you move forward. You're ready to get the most out of life. You're ready to create beautiful experiences. And within this next year, I think you're just learning the beauty of experience, learning the beauty that is this world and all that you can create within it. I feel like you're going to be so focused on fulfilling experiences. You're going to be so much more focused on being present, living in the present moment. I think that's going to be a powerful thing for you. If some of you have the book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, and if you have not read it, please go read it, especially if you felt called to read that. If you have not read that book, and that sounds like a book that you want to read, go read it. It's a phenomenal book about living in the present moment and the power that exists in the present moment. It's a phenomenally written book. So if you do feel called to read that one, I highly recommend, if you've already read it, maybe go revisit that one because it's so good. And I feel like that could be a really powerful book for you right now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into our Astro Dice for you and see any last messages. So we have the Sun in Taurus in the 7th house. Ooh, relationships. What's going on in your relationship life? Group 4. There's something here where you are making deeper commitment in your relationships. This could be you're committed to something in your relationship life. That's interesting. If some of you are single right now, I see that you're going to be in a committed relationship next year. If you're already in a committed relationship, this could indicate that that relationship's going to the next level. It can indicate that there's going to be some really bonding experiences that you have with this person over this next year. I just see really good news in relationships for you over this next year. That's all I can say. Group 4, there's really good news happening in your relationships. Deeper commitment, more fun, deeper shared experiences. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. I mean, if you're single, I don't know if you're looking for a relationship, but I see a relationship for you. And if you're already in a relationship, like I see some progress and things moving to the next stage. So, group 4. Woo, that's exciting. Let me see if I see anything else in here before moving on, because the 7th house can also be our social presence, and it can also indicate like the public eye, public image, and the fact that we have the sun being in there as well. If some of you do have a career, and I'm speaking to the people who like have a career on social media or in the public eye, if you have a career that's in the public eye, I see that career like a good opportunity for that career coming up this next year. If you want a career that's like in the public eye, I see progress in that career. Maybe even some sort of contract coming up there. You're building something though, like it's going to be more profitable over this next year. So yeah, speaking to the people who have a career that's in the public eye, or even, this could even be like a career where you just have like a lot of clients and you work directly with people, maybe even helping people. Like if you have a career within helping people as well. Well, now Jupiter wants to come out. I really just like flicked that dice and now we have Jupiter too. Jupiter's a really good sign. So anyway, back to the sun being here. There's expansion in there. There's expansion and tons more fulfillment in that. I think you're going to find a lot of fulfillment within helping people. Some of you might even start a career in helping people heal or helping people in relationships or something like that. But relationships are improving for you in general. Relationships are absolutely improving. There's deeper commitment there. And yeah, career is also improving, especially if you have a career involving other people or being in the public eye. So that is what we have for you, my beautiful group number 4s. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm sending you all so much love. And until next time, bye.